like, what do the officials, I guess, say to you or anything about what happened with Joe and why he got ejected?
I didn't really get an explanation for it, but I assume, I couldn't ever really get to the referee that called it, so I was asking the other guys and they were saying ask her, and I never really got a chance as the game was going, never did. And I just assumed it was arguing and whatever.
And then I guess what was your POV on the Andre Drummond thing? You know, he gets ejected, he comes back, like I guess.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Just the whole thing was really strange, right? It just, without looking at the tape to see what was actually going on there, I doubt that he was going down because of such aggressive pushing. That there was probably a little bit of whatever, you know what I mean?
Right.
So seemed really strange. All three of the calls seemed really strange to me. But on we go.
Did you get an explanation for it? It seemed like the way it was announced anyway was they ejected Andre, rescinded that, gave Victor a flopping tech. You guys shot a tech. They then took the tech away and said there was basically nothing happened. Is that how it was explained to you?
Yeah. What you said. I knew. Obviously we shot the tech, so I knew then they got brought Drum back, right? So they obviously rescinded and they flipped it. They flipped the techs. Obviously, that's about all I was just curious. Yeah. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. I think it's hard to throw somebody out of a game for kind of that, but that's what I was kind of wondering, how we're throwing people out for that. But again, I didn't watch the tape yet on it, so I think I better leave my comments to just that right there.
It looked like there was some video around the scene though, and it looks like she came up to you and said, I messed up.
She did. I was kind of doing something else, but I think she was saying that to somebody else, but I did hear her say that. Yep. That's obvious, they flipped the call, so they said that, and she admitted, yep.
In terms of the rest of the game, obviously Tyrese had a big second half, but felt like start of the fourth quarter, you guys probably had some of your best offensive possessions of the season in terms of ball movement.
Yeah.
And what do you think helped create that?
Yeah, I just think again we got in. I think late in the first half we started getting a little more rhythm of moving, and our guys were doing a good job of setting kind of multiple screens and slipping out of some, setting when they thought they needed to. Just again, it was creating enough separation to move it to the next action, and then somebody else would come into it. It's good to see. It's something we work on quite a bit, versus switching, and we don't get to it a lot of times, but we did, and we kind of kept it going in the second half. But I will say, I think we sprinkled in just enough transition here and there, a layup in transition, a three in transition, again, we finally, it was nice that our guys realized that Wemby was blocking a lot of shots. You probably noticed in the second half too that they were slamming on the brakes and the paint and just seeing where Yabu was, right, and kicking it out. There was, he's going to try to block everything. There's going to be somewhere to kick it back out, and I thought we did a decent job of that too.
When you consider everything that happened tonight, all the adversity you guys kind of had to battle through, does this kind of feel like a win that can maybe galvanize the group a little bit and continue to push you guys?
Yeah, listen, I think that again, it seems like the strangeness of the season seems to work its way, keep working its way into things, and again, over the last 10 or 12 games, we've played pretty well in most of them, right? So again, whatever happens, we just kind of keep on going. I think we ended up losing 3 guys in the end, Joel and Drum and KJ. Both were out of the game late, so obviously we're really small playing there, but they went kind of small too, other than Wemby. When he was out, they were really small, but we matched Yabu with Wemby's minutes in the second half, just to have some. That was the only big we had left. We almost went to Bona a couple times too, but they kind of went so small, we decided to stay small.
What do you think about that? What led to Gershon's success defensively against Wemby?
Well, he's obviously played against him and knows him, but he just was. First of all, he was working really hard, right? He was putting his body on him. He was making all his catches tough. I think, you know, he really hurt us from the perimeter, not really anywhere else, right? Just again, it was a stretch where they just started putting their head down and driving, and, you know, we were trying to decide, are we gonna adjust our defense or play our base package, and we played our base package for a lot of it, which means, you know, we're helping and we're rotating and stuff like that, and kept kind of finding Wembyana back, and then it was like we need to stick with him and try to just guard the ball better one-on-one. You know, but again, I just think he just worked and was physical with them.
With the exception of the Charlotte games, Paul's had a little bit of a up and down season shooting the ball in the fourth quarter. I guess, do you like the quality of shots he's getting in crunch time?
Yeah. I think I would say this. I thought we missed him about 3 times in a row when he was open for threes. We had a chance to make the next pass or hit him on a little flare screen thing we were running a couple times. And then we tried to run it again, and they actually covered it better than they did the 2 times before that. But then he turned around, drove, and got that and one, which was huge, right? And that's what excites me too, because, you know, if he's going to be able to drive it and get to the rim and finish, then he's going to be able to, you know, have a lot more to add to his options of what he can do. He's been shooting a lot of pressed up jumpers. But, you know, he's pretty good at those. He's pretty good at sitting down and shaking people for threes, even though he's covered a little bit, yeah.
Caleb had maybe his best shot,
Yep.
best shooting night of the season tonight. Mechanically, did everything look improved to you?
Yes, he did. I mean, again, he hasn't been feeling great, so this rest has him, I think, a little bouncier. He also had a dunk in transition. I mean, he was fighting like heck, too. That was really good to see. I think that was probably his best game of the year. You know, where he just, you know, really looked good at both ends, and I kind of figure out how to fit in and where to go again. So it was, it's excellent to see. He's been working really hard on his shooting, just mechanics that you mentioned. So it was good to see it pay off.